Hi, Sat Sri Akal, Namaste, hello. I'm Tanya and I'm trying storytelling for the very first time. So please do share your feedback and forgive me for my errors. Festivals are amazing, aren't they? No matter what the festival is, Diwali, Dashera, Eid, Holi, Christmas, it calls for a celebration. People all across the country visit their hometown, meet their family, friends, and hang out with their buddies. I'm no exception. I'm a Bengali, and for Bengalis, Durga Puja is the biggest festival of the year. It's like a huge affair. Durga Puja is about a lot of things, but for me, it's about the craze for shopping, it's about visiting the creative pandals and waiting hours after hours in that never ending queue to visit that Durga Ma and to have that 2 minute glimpse of the beautifully, flawlessly crafted statues of Goddess Durga. Now, those who plan to travel their hometown during Durga Puja holidays, make sure you get the tickets booked at least 5 to 6 months prior to the festival. Now, coming to my story. I did my MBA from Bhubaneswar. I was in my MBA first year. Yes, when I decided that I won't be traveling back to my hometown for Durga Puja holidays. Instead, I decided to accompany my new best friend to her hometown, Andhra Pradesh. So I didn't bother to get the tickets at all. Now as time passed and the craze for Durga Puja went high, the discussion on my hostel floor changed from assigned submission, classwork notes, group discussion to Durga Puja celebration, preparing, planning, and all. And listening to all their gossips, I went crazy. And there is no way I can go Andhra in Durga Puja holidays. How could I do that? And I decided I have to go home. I want to go home. But how do I go? I don't have tickets. So then I decided no matter what, I'm going home. Now my hometown is in a small city called Silchar in Assam. Traveling from Bhubaneswar to Silchar is very tricky. It's not a one-stop journey, it's not a direct journey. It's like getting on an elevator that stops at every floor. You got on the first floor, which is your Bhubaneswar, and then it moves on to the second floor, you have Kolkata, it moves on to the third floor, it's Guwahati, and then it moves on to the fourth floor, which is my city, Silchar, Assam. So I knew this was going to be a little complicated, but still, it's Durga Puja and I need to go home. So I got this ticket from Kolkata to Guwahati, which was like from second floor to the third floor. But how do I reach Kolkata now? Reach from the first floor to the second floor. One of the option was train. So this one morning, the day when I had to get the ticket booked, I woke up in the morning and I convinced my roommate to go and take bath. That way she will not come back and I will have the entire room to myself and be carefree to do my ticket. So 9:45 a.m. in the morning, I sat in front of the laptop, everything done, all set, and there was this tension and anxiety inside me. My heart was beating fast, so fast that it could pop out at any moment. So straight at 10 a.m. I logged in, I put in my details, I wrote my name, I made the payment, I clicked OK and I waited. And I waited. The anxiety inside of me, there was so much that I could feel it. There was this voice inside of me that was saying, ticket ho na ho, jaan zarur nikal jayegi. So I waited and I waited. And after 3 minutes, the ticket was generated. Wow, voila, the ticket was generated. I was so happy that I did a monkey dance in front of all my floor mates. Like, I'm going home, I am going home. So yes, this happened. On the day when I had to board the train, I was waiting for the train to arrive on the platform with all my luggages. The train arrived and I got on the train. A train compartment has 8 seats. 8. And the train coach has 72. And I know it's difficult to believe, but I think I was the only female in the entire train coach. So when I walked inside the train, everybody was looking at me like I was some queen, walking on the red carpet. But then when everyone is looking at you, although it felt like a queen, it was not a good feeling inside. So I walked quietly and sat by the window, and my fellow passengers, they were all so quiet. There was this pin drop silence. 20 minutes, the train started, and I decided I should go and take a nap. So what I did, I hopped onto the upper berth. It was empty, luckily. And 5 minutes I was away. I was like gone from the window seat. And my fellow passengers, they were crazy. They were so happy. They were having the time of their life. They were chatting, giggling, and laughing and telling each other stories. It's like, seriously. So because of all that noise, I couldn't sleep. Not a good part about, top as in the upper berth is that you can see everything that goes in below. So when one of the uncle, or should I say when one of my fellow passenger decided to change his dress. Yes, you heard that right. He changed his dress. He had no idea who was keeping an eye on him. So he put on a lungi, he dropped his pants, and he took off his shirt. And I was like, oh wow! Well, that was a sight I'm never gonna forget. No, never. After all this entertainment, I realized I was getting bored. So I browsed my mobile, listened to some music, and eventually I fell asleep. When I woke up in the evening, there was no light in the train. The light was not working, the fan was not moving, it was sweaty, it was smelly. I was angry, disgusted, I was hungry, I was bored. I was so frustrated at the time. Like, I was cursing myself, I was cursing the passengers, I was cursing the train, I was cursing my last moment decision to book the ticket to go home in this time of the year, in this time. But I had no option, right? So I lay quiet and I was listening to this music. There was this guy on the parallel berth of mine in the same compartment. This guy, he looked at me and he said, "Hello." And I was taken away by surprise. Who is he? Why is he talking to me? I don't know you. See, whenever I travel solo, there's this dormant panic button in my unconscious mind. Also, I'm not a very happy solo traveler. I don't talk, mingle, or smile at strangers because for me, safety comes first. Fun and adventure comes later. So when this guy came forward and he said hello, the dormant panic button in my unconscious mind, it was no more dormant. I was like, okay, but anyways, he said hello, so I need to reply back, right? So I looked at him and I said, in a feeble and suspicious voice, "Hello." He looked at me again and he said, "So, where are you going?" It's like, "Hey, I'm going to Kolkata." Wow, he was so happy with my answer that he got up and he sat on his berth. "Oh, really? I'm going too." I was so, inside my mind, I was like, I don't care. You can go anywhere. Go back to sleep and let me go back to sleep or whatever I was doing. But just don't talk to me, man. I don't know you. You're a stranger. But still, this guy, he continued asking more and more questions. Like, where are you from? Why are you traveling solo? And why are you going? And blah. Eventually, I came to know that this guy, he was also one of the students of the MBA college who was traveling back to Kolkata for Durga Puja holidays. And in time, I thought, at least my heart thought that he sounded safe. But my brain said, never trust a stranger. So whatever conversation happened between him and me, at least I did it with extreme precaution. But the good part that happened was, we talked and discussed about our food habits, we talked about the climate, the weather, our studies, our classes and our lives. And somewhere in between the conversation, we didn't even know when did we reach Kolkata. That was the good part. When the train hit the station, I took my luggage, I got down from the train and then I got out of the station. I booked a cab and on my way from the station to the destination that I was traveling to, I was thinking about the stranger that I met on the train. This guy, he initiated the conversation between us. And although I was not at all interested, he came forward. He talked about a lot of things. And I hesitated and I didn't like it. But I think somewhere down the line, he might have realized that I was feeling very uneasy and insecure by the fact that I was the only female passenger in the entire coach. And that's the reason he came forward and he spoke to me. And somewhere down the line, he calmed my upset mind, he distracted my monitoring, and we spoke and we talked about so many things. And in between the conversation about the creative pandals, the wait in the never-ending queue for hours to have that 2-minute glimpse of the beautifully, flawlessly crafted statues of Goddess Durga, we reached Kolkata. And now that I think about him, I think he was a stranger in my need. In fact, I think he's my stranger in my need. Thank you.
Hey, wait! The second part is coming. See you soon. Bye bye.